Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling. My name is BrendenPlayz, and on today's episode, we are getting ready for the Lockdown pay-per-view. We are currently, well, one episode of Explosion and one episode of Impact away from the pay-per-view. And right now, these are our storylines set in stone. Most of our storylines are in a pretty good, overness. I mean, in heat, I should say. They're doing pretty well. We have a couple low ones, more so on our Explosion side of things. We're going to start a new rivalry as well between Jazz and Melissa. That's cheerleader Melissa. We're just going to call her Melissa. Just keep it simple. I don't really like the cheerleader parts. We're just going to call her Melissa. So we're going to do that as another kind of Explosion rivalry as well, just to give our women a little bit more and slowly develop more women than just our champion, because we need to kind of build a few more up as well. So that's the plan there. And you can see, most of them in that 70 mark. We've got a couple, mainly our world title, really good, 87, that's huge. So we've got that going for us right now. The Team Jarrett, Team Sting one, that's probably our big rivalry right now. Our big one heading in to Lockdown, and that's 76, so that's not bad. So we might need to cut a few promos on the upcoming Impact and maybe even Explosion just to try and improve the rating for that, because we need that match to be very successful if we're going to have a good pay-per-view. But quick look at the history of our last couple of shows. We had a 72 for Explosion, which was surprising, but that was really good. And our Impact episode was 77, and it went pretty well. I'd say it went pretty well. Pretty happy with how it turned out, and we've basically set our teams in stone now. I think the only person we need to kind of show on TV that we want in the team is Muhammad Hassan, so we need to do something on the next Impact with Hassan and join him up with Jeff Jarrett's team, and obviously the mystery partner we'll deal with when we get to the pay-per-view. So we have Explosion tonight, so a couple of incidents, all involving Scott D'Amore. These should be good, positive ones. So microphone tips, psychology tips, and more psychology tips. So 3 different guys benefiting from that there. And that's really good, because what that does is that obviously just boosts their performance in that skill set. And that's really important. We definitely do need that. I'm thinking maybe we might bring in a local talent and kind of have them come in and work a match. We've got Michael Elgin we can bring in, so that's not a bad idea. Tyrone Evans. Yeah, I think I remember him somewhat. So I might bring in Elgin, and we might have him work a match just to kind of put over one of our guys. And that's the thing, we want to do that more often than not, because it's a way that we can bring someone in, have them lose, but not one of our own guys. As well as that, we might get Nakamura on the show as well. Maybe might have Nakamura come on and verse him in that match. Okay, so we have our Explosion show all ready to go. We can see we've got a slight little issue here. We haven't got enough matches on the show, long enough matches on the show, so we might just increase some of our matches. Obviously our main event we could give a couple more minutes to, and that will solve our issue. And alright, we're ready to run the show. So opening up, we had Gail Kim and Molly Holly going back and forth, and hey, 71 rated segment between the two. That might be one of the best segments that we've had between the two. That's actually really positive. So that's increased their storyline heat, which is what we needed. So we have Tanahashi versus Elgin. Now we were going to do Nakamura and Elgin, but we changed plans there. So we've got Tanahashi versus Elgin just to give Tanahashi a win. I think he needed that. We've got backstage Austin Aries and R-Truth, and Austin Aries took out R-Truth from behind and laid him out, sending a message to Nakamura, who's the global champion. And the performance of R-Truth was fantastic. Wow, there you go. But still, only 49 rated segment. So, for whatever reason, this feud between the two just isn't going as well as we would like. We've got an angle here. We've got a promo by the Dudleys on the Steiners, and did really well. 84, excellent. Really good there. Rhino got an easy victory over Simon Diamond, just a way to get Rhino another win, keep boosting his confidence. But look, 76 performance from Rhino. I think that's one of his better ones in recent times. He hasn't been amazing, but we need to get his overness up, and if we can get that popularity to a good point, then Rhino will be very useful. We had Jazz cutting a promo on Melissa, basically starting their rivalry, so We might maybe do something there on Impact between the two. In our main event, we had Aries and Bobby Roode. That's a team that we could definitely use at some point, teaming up to take on Nakamura and Jay Lethal. And as you can see, Nakamura, he wasn't the worst in the match. Austin Aries was actually the worst in the match. There you go. So Nakamura, despite having really little to no popularity at all, did a better performance than Austin Aries. So there you go. 72 rated match. That's pretty good. And that this match increased both of our storylines. So the Truth and Aries and the Lethal and Bobby Roode. So we put Nakamura in the Truth and Aries storyline for tonight to help increase that. So basically, Aries and Bobby Roode did get the victory there, as expected. We're not going to have Nakamura beat two of our better guys. So overall, after that as well, we had R-Truth. Well, he made a bit of a recovery and came back to attack Aries after the match and laid him out. So R-Truth got a bit of revenge at the end of the night, took down Austin Aries, basically setting up for that match between the two at the pay-per-view. 69 rated segment. And like I said, whatever reason, these segments just aren't going that well between the two. Maybe it's because of the low heat in the storyline. We are improving the heat though, so maybe we can get better. Jay Lethal was slightly overused. It's funny, Jay Lethal was slightly overused, but Nakamura wasn't. Wow, there you go. But anyway, 72 rated. So we are doing quite well with our Explosion shows, despite using all of our mid-card guys really only. We're not really trying to stack the deck and have our big stars on there. We're just mainly having our mid-card guys compete there, which is very positive. I just want to look at Nakamura. He's at 28 popularity in the Southeast, which is very good. For where he's at, you can see he's doing so well in the Southeast but not so well in the other regions. That's because in developmental it's based in Southeast, and everyone who's going to be in developmental will basically have really good popularity in the Southeast but really bad everywhere else when they finish up developmental. That's why we need to start introducing them more onto our main shows slowly, just so that balances out and evens out, because we don't want them to have 50 popularity in the Southeast and 10 popularity everywhere else, because that's just, they're going to be useless unless we're in the Southeast, which we are most of the time. We are, yes, but we'd like to have them in other regions as well. But we'll go ahead and we'll book this Impact show. Okay, so we have our Impact show all ready to go. Let's get straight into it. So we actually brought up Monty Brown from developmental. We brought him in to have a match with Sanjay Dutt just to kind of keep him relevant, because we don't want to have him in developmental forever. We want to bring him up, and more matches the better. And he actually had a 75 rated match. Now, that's actually terrific for Monty Brown. Sanjay Dutt 77, so 79 rated. Ow, that's really, really, really good. So very impressed there by Monty Brown. So we might actually have to bring him up from developmental sooner than we planned, because we want him to get better, and that's the plan. But he might already be good enough. We had Michael Elgin again having another match. Why not? Might as well use him again. We had Hernandez just beat him. And Hernandez 67 rated match. Wow, okay. So Hernandez was pretty good. We did have it as a wild brawl. Maybe he suited that type of match. Yeah, he suited the brawl type of match. So that's why he had a much better performance. So Hernandez, we just need to remember him in brawls, wild brawls and things like that, more suited for him. Alright, we opened up the show and oh no, I actually stuffed this up, didn't I? I did it again. So we opened up the show. We had Jeff Hardy introducing Muhammad Hassan, but I was meant to put Jeff Jarrett. I always do this. I just write Jeff, and I think I've already got the right guy. So I've screwed this one up. Doesn't really matter in the end. Just pretend it was Jeff Jarrett. But Jeff Hardy introduces Muhammad Hassan as the surprise partner for his team. So just pretend I was Jeff Jarrett. My bad. I messed that one up. That's why I hate having people who have the same name. In the game, there's so many people who have the name Chris or whatever. You have to get, scroll down to find the right Chris or whatever. It's so annoying. So I just like to have the people with unique names so we can get to it easy. But we start that one up. But anyways, 90 rated, so that's fine. It won't really matter because what the next segment was is more important. So we had Jeff Hardy, Sting Raven, and Sabu. They basically came out to have a brawl with Jeff Jarrett, Muhammad Hassan, Test, and A-Train. So the 4-on-4, the two teams, they had a bit of a brawl, excluding Rhino, of course, because we can't actually do 5-on-5 angles. The max you can do in an angle is 8. So we did that. We had 4-on-4 here. So in the end, Jeff Jarrett's team got the upper hand, because I feel like if you're going to introduce a new partner, you should get the upper hand, because you are introducing a big name. Muhammad Hassan's a huge name for us, of course. So we introduce him, even though it's Jeff Hardy, but forget about that. We want that team to have the upper hand heading in. So 82 rated segment as well, so that's pretty good. We're very happy with that, and it did advance and improve the storyline, so that's good news. And afterwards, we had Sabu and Raven have a match against Tess and Albert. I think that's fair enough. They had a 75 rated match. Raven 58, so he was clearly drugged up again. But hey, a 75 rated match, and it's A-Train again carrying the match, so he is proved to be really, really good for us. But I figured that at Lockdown, this is probably going to be the end of the Sabu and Raven match against Tess and Albert. So let's have the match now, and also we can do a match as well to kind of hype up the Lockdown match more as well. So yes, Raven was wasted on drugs, and there was a botched move as well. We had Melissa cut a promo on Jazz to keep moving that rivalry along. Billy Gunn had a match against James Storm, and Billy Gunn defeated James Storm. Now, normally I would have had Chris Harris there, but I went with James Storm just to spice it up a little bit more. We gave Billy Gunn the win. It was a flash pinfall victory just to protect James Storm a little bit more as well. They actually lost heat, so that's disappointing. And they had another segment there where Billy Gunn extended his hand. He wanted to shake the hand of James Storm, but Storm refused to shake the hand, basically not giving respect to the veteran team. We had Austin Aries and Nakamura have a match. Not a great match, 56 rated, but I feel like that was good for the storyline where we were at to have that match. Aries, his performances just haven't been great, have they? He's just not going well. I'm not sure what the problem is with Austin Aries. Nothing really saying here. He's got penalized for inconsistency. Yeah, but I'm not sure. But in the end, it turned to be okay. 56 rated for Nakamura involvement, especially. His performance was not good, so more so better in a tag match at this point. And afterwards, we had R-Truth and Austin Aries. They had a stare down. So basically, I think we had R-Truth on guest commentary for that Nakamura match. And after the match, R-Truth and Austin Aries, they had a stare down after the match, just to to build for that pay-per-view, I should say. Then we had Abyss and James Mitchell cutting a promo on Christian Cage. Basically, it was a Titantron promo, so Abyss was at some other location cutting a promo on Christian, building up to the match. So we keep the two away from each other, but continue to build the match. I think that's going to be a really good match, actually. And surprisingly, I feel like we haven't built it good enough, but the storyline heat would suggest otherwise. So I think that's going to be a really good one. Then we had Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels cutting a promo on Samoa Joe, hyping up their X Division Championship match. Then our main event, it was Kazarian, of course, Daniels' partner. He went one-on-one with Samoa Joe, 84 rated match. Samoa Joe, he had an 86 rated performance. Kazarian 76, excellent. Joe's improving in his performance skills as well, so Joe's getting even better. So that was fantastic. I think we had Daniels on guest commentary as well, just to keep advancing that storyline. So really happy with that. Afterwards, we had Muhammad Hassan and Matt Sydal have a post-show match, which is always never good. Post-show matches are never good because they don't try. They just kind of phone it in. But the reason why we had that match is because we need to give Muhammad Hassan more matches. Obviously, the more matches he has, the better he's going to get, the more he's going to improve. So we need to have Muhammad Hassan wrestling more. So I think nearly every week we want to try and give Muhammad Hassan some kind of match so he can keep improving his skills. Overall, 83 rated show, 4,500 or so turned up for the event, and that's pretty successful. I'm very happy with that. So that's our go-home show before lockdown, and you'd have to say that was a successful show. Even though we did stuff up the Jeff thing, but I need to get used to that. I always do stuff it up, but I always catch myself before I accept it. But this time I missed out, but we got it right for the brawl anyway. Some news, not much really. A-Train's not happy. 1.99 rated Impact, so our ratings did go down just a little bit. Not the best news, but that's okay, despite having a really good main event. Raven, here we go again. Wasted on drugs. I mean, what can we do? I mean, you guys have been telling me in the comments, just fire him, job him out to Nakamura and fire him. And look at all the... This is how many times this guy has been wasted or drunk or something. God, I mean, what can we do? Fine him again, or we give him a stern warning? I mean, fining isn't quite working. We'll try a stern warning. Nothing noteworthy happened, so that was a waste of time. A couple of decisions that we're waiting on. Tajiri, I feel like he could be a good addition to our roster. He's still pretty good. He's got good charisma as well, good star quality, so I feel like he'd be really handy to bring in for our X Division. Good popularity. It's not amazing, so he'd be a mid-carder, but he could be quite useful. You guys have been begging me to bring Kenny Omega in. Look, I don't really care that much about Kenny Omega. His stats aren't good enough right now. I mean, you know, he's only 23, so you got to remember, you know, at this stage of the game, he wasn't that amazing. So his stats are okay, decent popularity. So yeah, we'll sign him to a short-term developmental deal. We'll see how he goes. If he goes well, then we'll keep using him. If not, well, forget about it. And you guys are also begging me to bring in TJ Wilson, aka Tyson Kidd, and I'm pretty confident he'll do quite well with his ring ability. But yeah, so we'll bring him into developmental as well, and we'll use them down there. And the good thing is, the better workers you got in developmental, the better it's going to be for your developmental guys. So Nakamura, 28 still, just checking his popularity, didn't quite move up. So we'll advance to our lockdown. We'll probably get stopped to sign these written deals, but we'll get ready to get to lockdown. Very excited to see how this pay-per-view goes. I want to see how this lockdown match will fare. Now, I feel like it probably will be a brawl or hardcore based match, which probably won't suit a lot of our workers that are in it, but we'll give it a go. I mean, honestly, if we get 75 rated, I'll be happy. I think that's a win. And with our two big X Division matches to go with it, our Abyss and Christian Cage main event at the top as well, I'm pretty confident we could do something good in the end. I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident we could get maybe an 85 rated pay-per-view, possibly more. That could be pushing it, but we've done our best, I think, to kind of build that up as much as we can. Couple more little things. Raven's contract is ending. Okay, so Raven, he's on a pay-per-appearance deal, so his contract is ending. I mean, what can we do? We can't get him to a written deal because he doesn't want to leave. So I don't know. I'm going to leave that right now. We did give him a win against Test and Albert, so we've bumped his popularity back to 69. I don't know. Tatanka's contract is ending. 40 years old. No, thank you. Yeah, we actually sent Daniel Bryan to New Japan for a little bit of time, just to kind of give him a chance to work over there and keep improving his skills. So he had a nice little stint in Japan. Let's see some of his matches he had. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. He had a match against Chris Jericho, so that went pretty good. So there you go. So you got a chance to work with some good guys there and kind of keep improving his skill. Kazarian changed his style. He's a Japanese junior now. I'm not sure if that will really benefit or be worse. I'm not sure. And Explosion, 0.19 rating. So back to where we were, I believe. So not great news there. Tajiri, he'll sign. We've got him in for a pay-per-appearance deal only. And we've got him in for 6 months just to trial him out. And if he goes well, we could definitely sign him to a written deal. But for now, I'm happy just to have him as a paper appearance because we want him to keep working in Japan as well, and if he can, other places in the US. So we're not that interested in locking him in yet, but if he's producing the goods, then definitely we probably should. And we've got Kenny Omega. We're going to send him down to developmental, and TJ Wilson will be joining him down there. So we'll have them both work as a heel. And Harley Race has now joined us as well. So lockdown is now. We may as well get ready to get into the pay-per-view. Now, I guess the question is, where do we start? Do we start it off with the lockdown match? Is that our main event? I'm not sure. I mean, it's hard to kind of say. Locker room incidents. So these should be quite positive. Protege ones. Yep. So passing down more knowledge. Same for Daniels and Melissa. So that's good. We want Melissa to get better because I think we've got big plans for her. So, alright guys, we have run into a problem. Now this problem, you guys are going to say to me, Brendan, you are an idiot. And I will take it. I have stuffed up. Now, I will tell you guys who I had planned to be on Jeff Jarrett's team. So, we have an alliance with New Japan, so I utilized that. So I brought over the biggest name I could from New Japan using that alliance. It was Kevin Nash. So Kevin Nash was going to be the surprise partner for Jeff Jarrett's team and be the fifth man. So he's a heel, 78 popularity. He's a star. Bring him in, and we've got him for 5 dates. We can use him in that capacity. Probably not the best worker, but still the popularity will get him through, and good promos and things like that. And also he could take the pin and protect our guys. So I thought it was a perfect match. So to do that, we sent Bryan Danielson over to Japan, and we also had to send Muhammad Hassan. We sent Hassan because we wanted Muhammad Hassan obviously to get more experience. More matches, the better for Hassan. So that was the plan there. Now in doing so, we've stuffed up. Now I figured that because they work for me, that their priority will be my show. And because we're bigger than Japan, I thought the priority would be me. But as it turns out, no, the priority is Japan, and they've scheduled a show that I didn't know about. They've scheduled a show for the same time as Lockdown, which means that we are all but screwed because Kevin Nash is working in Japan and Muhammad Hassan is working in Japan. I cannot, this sucks. This honestly, my match is ruined. My big match that I had planned is ruined. And it's my fault. I should have checked. And now I can't do any backup plans because we can't sign anyone else because we're already on to the pay-per-view day. We've already started booking our show. We're halfway done. So what do I do? What do I do? Who do I bring in? Because we need 2 heels to join this team now. 2 heels. And who do we got? We've got, Scott Steiner, who's already got a scheduled match with the Dudleys. And do we want to have him as a solo? We could. Absolutely could. Other than that, we'd have to go down the lower. Monty Brown, I think, is one guy we'll use. I think he's a guy that we will have to use because he got good popularity. We can bring him in. He had a great match on Impact, so I think he's a guy that we'll just use. That's fine. Use him in that capacity. Now we need one more. Now, obviously, we don't want to use our X Division guys because we want them elsewhere on the show. The other guy I could probably think of is maybe Homicide. But, he's 59 pop. Good in ring, so he'll have a good match, I'm sure. But I'm just hoping for a bigger star, a big name to be in the team. But I've screwed it up. So we're just gonna have to go with him. Muhammad Hassan is not available, which I think is ridiculous. I think they should, if he works for you, even if he's on loan, he should be priority for you. But yeah, so we have stuffed that up. Okay, so we are finished booking the show. We're gonna make the best out of a bad situation. We'll try our best. Let's run it through. Let's see how we went down. So first up, we gave Nakamura a match on the show. We had him beat Simon Diamond quickly, just to give him a match. We want to have Nakamura, like we said, featuring more and more and more. So quick win over Diamond. Melissa and Jazz had their match. Jazz, no, they weren't very impressed with her, so she didn't do very well. But yeah, 51 rated match. Not terrible between the two, honestly. That's okay. Gail Kim cut a promo on Molly Holly. Truth cut a promo on Austin Aries. Then we did a big 8-man tag just to get these guys on the card. And everyone did pretty well, except for kind of Matt Sydal, who was a bit lackluster. But 71 rated, not bad for just a random tag. We've still got Chris Sabin. We're still building him up to turn him. We need probably at least 5 or 6 segments, so we need to start doing that because I think we want to have Motor City Machine Guns as one of our top teams, so we need to do something there. And here we go, opening the show with AJ and Low Key, 90 rated match. Wow, excellent stuff. That is one of our best matches we have produced, so really great way to kick the show off. And hey, if we screwed up the Lockdown match, that's okay. At least we had this type of match to do it. This is why we didn't put AJ and Low Key in the Lockdown match. We wanted them to have their own separate match and produce this. Excellent stuff. I mean, that's really good. Followed up with Gail Kim, Molly Holly. Not a great way to follow it up. I mean, you have a great match. You expect, okay, we're going to have another one to follow. But we kind of had a bit of a bumper match. All right, we had this epic match. Let's put the women on now. Let's kind of cool the crowd down a little bit until we get our other ones. Still, 59 rated. That's not bad for the women. Not bad. We had Gail Kim defend her championship against Molly Hollis, so she got the win. And AJ beat Low Key as well before, by the way. James Storm, Chris Harris, they cut a promo on the New Age Outlaws, and they had their match for the tag titles. We kept the tag titles on America's Most Wanted for now, and they had a 78 rated match, so really, really good. And because the match was probably a bit long, there was times where the psychology drifted a little bit. But overall, look at those performances. Harris, 83, and surprisingly, James Storm, 85. He's normally the one who always lacks. He's normally the one who's always the worst, but he was actually the best. So, terrific match, really good. Could have been better though. With these performances, you'd expect it to be in the 80s. So, because it drifted a little bit, we lost a few points. Then we had the promo with Jeff Jarrett, Monty Brown, A-Train, and Test hyping up the lockdown match. Okay, here we go. Here's the lockdown match, the lockdown disaster. Okay, so what was it in the end? 82. Okay, so despite the fact that we didn't have the guys we wanted, it worked out pretty well. It was a long match, 82 rated. Let's have a look. Rhino was 72, Sabu and Raven were pretty poor. Sting had a poor match, probably because it is a brawl match, I believe. So obviously Sting not really suited to that. Jeff Hardy did pretty well. So surprisingly, somehow we did so good. Homicide. Wow, okay. So Homicide, the one guy that we said, alright, we don't really want him in the match, but if we have to, we will. He carried the match. Homicide carried the match. 84 rated. Alright, Homicide. I apologize. I'm sorry. I apologize. You are great. Jeff Jarrett also carried as well. 84 rated. So the heel side of things did really well. Monty Brown, 75. So realistically, Monty Brown would have done better than Kevin Nash, let's be honest. So maybe it didn't turn out to be too bad. They just wanted the star power, just want to have a big, match on paper. Test was pretty bad though. A-Train was good. So look, I mean, it turned out to be probably as good as we expected. We said 75 was what we were hoping for. We hit 82. Okay, we'll take that. We'll take it. It was a disaster in terms of getting the people we wanted in the match, but the match itself turned out to be pretty good. Okay, so here everyone's going to be complaining that they didn't want to do this type of match. Raven, he was drugged up again. I mean, God, Raven, can you just stay sober for one night? Honestly, how hard is it? Sabu apparently is not good at brawl matches. Is he good at hardcore only? Surely if you're good at hardcore, you can do a brawl match, but okay. And then after the match, the team that won, obviously Rhino's team won, and we gave them a celebration afterwards as well. Then we had Austin Aries and R-Truth compete one-on-one. We actually gave the win to Austin Aries. You're probably thinking, why would you do that? Why would you sacrifice Ron Killings? But we did that because we protected Ron Killings, so he shouldn't lose too much popularity, if any at all. Hopefully not. But Ron Killings is a babyface, Austin Aries is the heel, and there's not a big gap between Aries and Nakamura. There is, but there's not as big as between Truth and Nakamura. So I feel like if we're going to do Nakamura competing, Aries is probably the guy. And obviously, R-Truth is probably a little bit above the championship right now. He's not a mid-carder, he's an upper mid-carder, so we want to keep him that way. So we want to have him feuding with some of the bigger names at some point. Probably soon, to be honest. Then we had Aries. He challenged Nakamura to the match for the championship afterwards. Here we go. So Steiners and Team 3D, 84 rated. We had them have a quick brawl, just a 15-minute match, and we had it as a wild brawl. It worked out pretty well, despite it being short. Brother Ray was the MVP, 86. Rick Steiner had 51. We tried to protect him as much as we could. Now, he was obviously going to suck, but we tried to protect him. Scotty Steiner was fantastic as well, so really, 84 rated, that's great. That's great. We gave Team 3D to win, obviously. We had Rick Steiner take the pin. Then we had a video hype between Fallen Angel and Samoa Joe. Now, this should be a good match. So, X Division match, Joe versus Christopher Daniels. 92! Wow! Oh, shit! 92 rated! Okay, so we had Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, win the X Division Championship from Samoa Joe. 92 rated match. Daniels was a 94, Joe 92. Wow. That's our best match ever to date. That is our best match. Now that's probably going to be better than the main event, unfortunately, but that's freaking awesome. So awesome match. Christopher Daniels was great. I mean, what more can you say? Terrific stuff. So Daniels is now the X Division champion. We did that because we want Samoa Joe to probably go to the heavyweight division. We want Joe starting to get ready to feud for the TNA World Championship, whereas we're happy with Christopher Daniels carrying the X Division championships, the X Division as the champion for at least the time being. Alright, so we had Christian cut a promo on Abyss, 97 rated. Wow, Christian cuts a damn good promo, no surprise. Then we had a hype video, Abyss and Christian. So the heat for this storyline is huge right now. It's 90 at least, it's got to be. So surely the match is good. It's a steel cage match. Let's go. Is it good? 92 as well! Are you kidding? Yes! 92 rated as well. Abyss and Christian had a great match. Christian defended the championship. 92 rated. Wow, that is awesome. So I didn't expect that. I thought maybe 85, but because I guess the storyline heat had so much heat, it bumped it up. Christian 91 rated performance as well. Abyss 83. So to be fair, it should have been a good match, and it was. That's freaking awesome. I'm so happy about that. And then we had a post-match show. We had Team Canada versus Jay Lethal, and we had Tajiri make his debut as the tag partner of Jay Lethal, and he had a 72 rated performance. So Tajiri's performance is pretty good, so he might actually be pretty handy. So that's good news. And that's our show. Only 84 rated. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? So because we had that long pre-show and long post-show match, that bumped us down because we had Jay Lethal and Matt Sydal and Marufuji in a pre-show match for a little bit too long. That's bumped the show down. Are you kidding? We had a 92 rated main event. We had a 92 rated X Division and a 90 rated opener. And all these great matches in between, we only got 84. We've been robbed. We've been robbed. I'm sorry. That's criminal. We just got robbed. Alright, well, so we'll give Abyss some love. He did great. We'll give Christian some love. He did great. And we'll give Samoa Joe, even though he lost, we'll give him the love. And, actually, we'll give Daniels the love instead. So, great. Well done, guys. Only come on, 84. Are you kidding me? That deserved to be at least 88, if not 90. That was freaking awesome. Come on. Just because we didn't have... We used our pre-show guys a little bit longer because we wanted to give them a good match, a chance to be on the card. Come on, pre-show shouldn't even count. It's a pre-show, nobody cares. I'm not happy about that. But anyways, here's some other things. So, basically our guys that we signed on a written contract last episode are all coming now. They're all locked into us. Seth Rollins, he believes that he should be moved up from developmental. I don't know about that, Seth, but okay, we'll consider it. Sabu's only got 1 month left on his contract. I think we may re-sign Sabu. He's done pretty well. What's the buy rate for Lockdown? 0.25. Is that might be one of our best? I'm not sure. Can't quite remember, but 0.25, that's pretty good. We'll take that. And just people annoyed about Raven. What's new? Raven screwed up and everyone's pissed off at the guy. So I don't care, Raven. I'm just gonna... Honestly, I wouldn't mind just going fire and clicking that, but Raven improved his behavior. About damn time. Alright, so you weren't happy about getting fined the first time, but the fine the second time you're okay with. Okay, I don't understand that, but... Yeah, so that has been our best pay-per-view. So we've got the most revenue out of that, so that would definitely mean that was our best pay-per-view. And I think we also drew 15,000 in attendance, so we've had that at Southeast because I felt as though, alright, this is one of our big pay-per-views. Let's do it at our best market, our biggest market, and it turned out to be pretty good. So, but that is all we have time for this edition of Total Extreme Wrestling on the Lockdown pay-per-view. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you did enjoy it. And remember to leave a like on this episode if you did like it, and comment, and feel free to tell me I screwed up and I'm an idiot. I'll take it, but I'm happy with the way it went. So thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to see more, and I'll see you in the next episode.